Friday, and we're live. Okay, so today we're going to try this different. So I've been kind of posting about this new fun project that my biz bestie and I are diving into, and we're calling it the Soul Ascend podcast, and we are actually launching it soon. So stay tuned. But because we're launching a podcast, my She Shed has now become a podcast studio. And I thought it'd be fun to try out this mic today to see how it's working. I I really am a kind of a snob when it comes to audio. So we wanted to really invest in great equipment for the podcast to make sure it's really crisp, and we're excited about it. So today, I don't want to talk about the podcast. I will in time, but I really wanted to talk to you about this thing called time blocking and how that tool really supports me. It supports a lot of my clients when they're trying to build and expand and really scale their business, and how to manage and allocate their time. So they have that harmony in their life versus that overwhelm. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that today, and some strategies that I've used that are simple, yet you can implement, that I think will really alleviate stress or pressure for you and your growth as you're ascending into your new business, your new vision. Maybe you're taking on, a new role in your life or your family. This will all support you. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jen. I like to be known as Jen, the Generator, and I am a mind ascension coach. And I've coined myself that. And what that basically, when it comes down to what that means, is I help you manage your mind so that you can let go of the beliefs that aren't serving your highest good, and you can step into the highest level of your actual human potential. And I talk a lot about how we're trained to live in probability versus possibility. And so I really love to support people in getting out of the probable and into the possible. All right, so let's get started. So today, it's more of a logical kind of talk today, this live. It's really kind of based in strategy versus esoteric kind of thoughts and mindset reframes. But I felt this was really valuable because one of the biggest things that people come to me about is I don't have time. Like, the block to ascending into what they want to create in their life is time or money. Or non-support, right? So I wanted to share with you some things I learned from a mentor of mine that helped me learn to time block effectively and to hold those boundaries really strong. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm currently teaching a course with my business bestie, Megan McCann, and it's called the Mind Ascension Method. And I'm teaching this course, and inside this 4-week course that I teach, and then she teaches another 4-week course, I have what's called a Voxer thread. Now, let me explain this to you. For those of you who don't know what a Voxer thread is, it's a walkie-talkie app that goes back and forth. So you can have like 100 people on it, you can have one person on it, and you can all communicate via like walkie-talkie through the day. It's really, really a great way to connect with people. However, as you can imagine, if you're coaching a lot of people on this Voxer, it can get overwhelming. So for me, as an empath and a person that always wants to support others, it's really hard for me to set that boundary of no. The time that I'm allocating for this part of my life is between these hours. Because sometimes things come in and you want to respond and you want to support and you don't want to let people down. So you break that boundary and step into this other role, which becomes accessible to everyone at all times, regardless of what's going on in your life. So the first thing we get to create as entrepreneurs or people that are stepping into the next level of their life, and really getting clear on being very productive within your days and still create harmony in your life, is to create time blocking boundaries. So what I did in this particular program is, okay, these are the times that I respond. And I'm holding that leadership so that no matter what happens, if it's off those hours, I don't touch my phone, because those off hours get to be dedicated to my family. And if my brain is going back and forth from Voxer, right, responding to people, to email, to texting, to Instagramming, to responding on Facebook, and then trying to actually be a present, connected wife and mom, is impossible. Your brain can't flip like that, guys. So that's why when I time block with my clients, the key to this is not only holding that boundary once you've scheduled it and set it, is to create time blocks where your brain is working in the same capacity. So this is what I mean. You don't want to time block, like say you have a billing to do. Let's pretend like you have money to do. You don't want to time block money and then piggyback it right off of creativity. Meaning you don't want to piggyback, you don't want to create a time block of doing finances and looking at spreadsheets from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Mondays, and then follow it with your creative writing for your business at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Right? You want to block days and things and tasks that use the same part of your brain, right? So our right and left brain need to be grouped together in tasks in order to be the most effective. Because if I'm trying to be loving, nurturing mom to my kids, and also like, loving and nurturing and sensual with my husband, I can't all of a sudden then just flip over and be like, oh, let me send this invoice real quick. It doesn't work like that. Your brain can't switch. And then you're not actually serving your family and you're not serving your clients because you're not in it fully and your brain's not able to switch and flip that quickly. So what I do with my clients is we look at their day and we structure their weeks and their days into time blocked areas that only use one part of the brain. So if you're in the right brain, you're going to do things that day or that morning, only right brain. You're going to give yourself transition time for your brain to adjust to the new task at hand. So I like to time block my entire week with, okay, Mondays, I really dive into invoicing, spreadsheets, kind of the logical side of my brain is a lot of Monday work for me. And then I transition in the afternoons before I get my kids, before I'm a mom. And I usually transition a few different ways into that feminine, into that divine feminine, into that different way of being, of service and nurturing and loving my family. And the way that I do that is I either go for a walk, right? I know this is crazy. I either go for a walk or I dance. Or I take a shower. Yes, those are things that work for me. When I go outside and connect to nature and ground myself, I can shift into that more flow state, which is where I'd like to be with my family. If I, for example, if I dance, I dance daily. People don't know that about me. Even if it's for 2 minutes, I'm turning off my phone, sorry. Even if it's for 2 minutes, I dance. I turn on the music and I allow my inner wild woman, that part of me, to come out. And that transitions me into that more femininity, that connection, that sensuality, that all those things that I need to either be with my husband or my kids. Or I take a shower. And the reason I take a shower is because showers are very, I love the hot water. I love the smell of the bath aromas I have in there. I love all of that. And it makes me, just shifts me into a different way of being. It's like softening for me. But everyone has their own transitions. So those are the things that work for me. So what I want to leave you with today is look at your week and time block areas where you're using one side of your brain. And if you have to go to the other side of the brain in the same day, use a transition mechanism to get you out of one part of your way of being and into another part of your way of being so that you can fully develop your time and be present for the areas of your life that you really want to be present for. Otherwise, you'll miss things. This is a great way to stay out of overwhelm. This is a great way to stay connected. This is a great way to stay present in your life instead of being one place and having your mind somewhere else. So I find that this works really well for that. All right, guys, I just want to share that with you today. I hope that supports you. Maybe setting up your week this weekend and using those strategies and seeing how your week next week flows for you versus feeling it forceful and exhausting and overwhelming. Maybe if you shift these things, next week will feel a little bit more fluid. All right, you guys, let me know.